Hello, my real lovelies. Welcome back to the channel, and as always, welcome to my home. Today, I have quite a few stories and topics that I want to talk about. Not least of all, Prince Harry being brought into the whole P.Diddy Scandal. We have Meghan and her, shall I say, rotten Riviera orchard trademark documents. And a few other different things that we'll get to right now. Right, let's start with the whole P. Diddy thing. So if you didn't know, he's been going through some legal bother, shall we say, to do with claims against him and his misbehaviour. I don't want to say too much on the channel, but the actual misbehaviour part is not what Harry has been brought into. He's been mentioned as one of, I suppose, P. Diddy's high-profile connections. And there are quite a few people out there these days that are a little bit like, has anyone watched Harry Potter? There's a character called Slughorn who likes to collect sort of, influential and powerful students of the future. There are a few men and women around who liked, in the real world, that like to collect people. And I think P. Diddy was one of those men. He liked to surround himself by rich, powerful, influential people to kind of gain gravitas. And Prince Harry was named as one of those people, along with, I suppose, Prince William as well. I mean, Prince Harry was named in the documents, but P. Diddy has also met Prince William and, like I say, lots of other high-profile individuals. So P. Diddy was definitely trying to capitalise on the influential and moneyed set, shall we say, gave him that level of gravitas. And I think this serves as a wider warning to the royals. We've already seen this with Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York. Positioning yourself or choosing who you position yourself with, who you're seen with, who your associates are, is highly, highly important. Now, when you are a working member of the royal family, you do come into contact with a whole wide range of people that associate themselves with charities and organisations that you might be affiliated with. So, for example, we have seen the Prince Charles, as he was then, before he became king, at events with Jimmy Savile. And for those of you who don't know, Jimmy Savile was, after his passing, was discovered to have done some very problematic things. So, yes, you do come into contact with people, and, more often than not, these people's crimes or misdemeanors are, often revealed years and years and years later. So you do come into contact with people as a working royal that perhaps, you wouldn't have done if you'd have known how sort of unsavoury they might have been. So it serves to me as a wider warning to choose your associates, your friends, the people who you work with, the people that you are seen with, extremely wisely, because it can come back, years later and hit you in the butt. And then suddenly your name is mentioned in a court document with really nothing that you have any connection with. Do I think it was bad judgment on Harry's part or William's part? In this particular case, no. P. Diddy, they were photographed with P. Diddy around about the time of the Diana 10th anniversary memorial concert. So it was all in connection with that. It's not known how much connection Prince Harry as an individual has had since then. It's neither known for Prince William. So I think this is just one of those unfortunate occasions where a royal name has been brought into something rather unsavoury, but it does serve as that wider warning. Just be careful who you associate with. Next, I want to talk about another kind of Catherine apologist. So, of course, I'm talking about the US talk show host Stephen Colbert. Now, I don't follow him. I don't think I've ever seen anything that he's been in or on. So, to me, he's a bit of an unknown, but I know that he is a chat show host in the US. So, like many other people on the internet, whether you be a private person or, a celebrity, people were saying rather nasty things, coming up with conspiracy theories about Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, and I think that people talking about what's going on in the media kind of falls into three different categories when it came to Catherine and all the conspiracies. The first kind of category that people fell into was those who were coming up and producing the conspiracies. So this, I think, mostly came from deep into social media. So the dreaded X, that is known to be a cesspit of opinions and nastiness. So I think a lot of the conspiracy theories came from places like that. So you've got initially the people that are creating it, generating it. Then you've got the category that I think most people fell into, which is those who consume it and then talk about it, i.e. gossip. You consume something, you read it, sometimes inadvertently you might read it, and then you talk about it, or you retweet, or you do something, you spread it. So then you've got the kind of spreaders and the gossipers. And then, of course, you've got people like myself, royal commentators, royal reporters, the media, that then pick up on all of that and try and dissect and make sense of everything. And I felt like during this whole sort of Catherine period, what I was doing was kind of saying, hang on a minute, wait, this is speculation. We don't actually know I was always putting out there what we do actually know, what is fact. And I kind of I felt like my duty was to separate the fact from the fiction. And the one thing that I think everyone almost needs to accept is you can't control that middle category that consume and gossip. So I think it's important to have people out there that actually try and make sense of it all and try to, say, hang on, this is not, we don't actually know this. This is just a conspiracy. This is just a theory. Yes, they exist. This is what people are talking about, but we don't actually know if they are true or not. So I kind of feel like a lot of people, in particular the American media, were very much going down the repeating of the conspiracy theories and coming up with their own. And I think kind of Stephen Colbert fell into this category. So he sparked fury by failing to apologise for the jokes he made about Catherine, as he finally addressed the backlash following, of course, Catherine's cancer diagnosis. So he told his audience on The Late Show on CBS that he does not make light of somebody else's tragedy, but he stopped short of apologising to Catherine, who has been the subject, of course, all the cruel different conspiracies. He is a self-confessed anti-monarchist and accepted that his jokes had upset some people, adding that he was aware any cancer diagnosis of any kind is harrowing for the patient and for their family. So he made jokes about Catherine's disappearance and also said that he and everyone on the programme would like to extend our well wishes and heartfelt hope that her recovery is swift and thorough. And there is a whole kind of speech about it, but he did stop short of apologising about it. And I think he does have a bit of a history with this kind of thing, being sort of anti-monarchist. So his lack of apology sparked a fresh backlash, with Queen Elizabeth II's former press secretary, Dickie Arbiter, saying he might be full of regret for himself, but he didn't apologise. So I think that if you are going to mention it at all, don't forget that he could have just sort of not mentioned it and moved on. So he didn't have to speak about it. He chose to speak about it. And if you're going to choose to speak about it, then perhaps you should go the whole hog and actually make a proper apology. Right, I'm going to go now and see what people are saying in the comment section of the article. This should be interesting. Okay, so one commenter says, cancer or no cancer, his humour was misjudged. Not sure why a diagnosis should make a difference when it was well documented she'd had major surgery. And this is true. We all knew that she'd had major surgery and that the most likely possibility that why we hadn't seen her was that she was recovering from this planned abdominal surgery. At the time, we didn't know that it was major abdominal surgery, but I think we guessed by the recuperation time and the downtime that it was a serious operation. So I think that's a well-made comment. M3173 says, when he made those jokes, he still knew she was recovering from surgery. That alone merited an apology, regardless of the ultimate diagnosis. And I quite agree. And Aerojack says, once upon a time, late night TV was a way to unwind after a long day of work. Carson and Leno were mostly apolitical, light-hearted comedy that would occasionally poke fun at politicians on both sides. Now it is unwatchable. And I think, all of these different comments kind of show that where we are in the world right now. Jiva says it was a very generic apology. He seems to have a bias against the royal family, who under normal circumstances wouldn't care, but the previous comments were aimed at her. The apology should too be addressed to her. Yes, I think I absolutely agree. I don't think he went far enough. And seeing as you're going to make, a spectacle of making the jokes in the first place, and then you choose to make a spectacle sort of apologising, but not apologising, then perhaps you should just go the whole hog. And I think there are quite a few more people that need to go down the same route. Next, I want to talk about Meghan's trademark. So we know that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the Montecito duo, are well known for getting trademarks in and trying to protect their brand. So it has been unearthed, all the different trademarks and areas of interest that perhaps the Duchess might inflict on us. So what is there for the brand American Riviera Borchard? I'm going to call it Borchard because it's boring. So she has listed a range of items in documents sent to the US Patent and Trademark Office, including bath soaps, curtains, and yoga blankets. Now, I certainly would not want to have a bath with anything related to Meghan. I am not getting in bath water with Meghan's old soap. Curtains, I certainly don't want to hang her on the windows. My goodness. And yoga blankets. I mean, seriously. Is she trying to replicate Temu? Maybe she's trying to be the new Temu. Other items in the papers which were submitted on March the 13th, but have only now emerged. Ketchup, incense burners, flower pots, pet food, and recipe books. Well, perhaps she's trying to make some treats for Harry. Is her lapdog puppy. It's revealed Meghan is now eyeing Gwyneth Paltrow's beauty crown. Well, Meghan Markle is no goop, let's put it that way. So she wants to market fragrance sachets, bath and shower gel, salts, hand soaps, body creams, bath oil, body lotions, and other cosmetics. My goodness. And the listing for pet food, edible pet treats. Well, I should hope that they are edible. Otherwise she wouldn't be able to sell them. Birdseed is given those chicken legs, my goodness. Birdseed is notable given that the Princess of Wales's brother James Middleton owns the upmarket dog food brand Hello Ella. Meghan's trademark application also appeals to extend to a physical shop where items could be sold. Oh, she'll be like, buy my pet food, woof, woof, woof. She'll be woofing all over the place. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. What it is. It looks like she's trying to make herself into the new Temu. Meghan will be making and selling products such as jams. Buy my jams. Buy my yams. Buy everything. I mean, my goodness, this is what I think about all of this. So, as I've said, I think the year 2024, this year, will all be about Harry and Meghan trying desperately to set up and to survive post leaving the royal family. Meghan is going back to her roots, and she is kind of replicating a new Tig, basically. So this year is going to be all about that. But I think it starts the beginning of the end. I think 2025 is going to be the year where it all collapses, and by 2026 they will be on their knees. So in 2024, I think whenever she does, I mean, by the way, she hasn't launched anything yet. This is all just talk. I think as soon as she launches things, there will be people, and by the way, this is luxury. It's probably produced in China for 2 cents and sold for $100 a jar of whatever it is. Anyway, you could probably get the same thing from Walmart. Yes, so I think Meghan will have initial success with these things. I think her initial lines will sell out for the people that support her. The Sussex squad will be buying her jams and her yams and having a good old time. But I think if it's high-priced rubbish, and once people have bought it once, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a repeat purchase business. So what I see is an initial flurry happening, and then I see it petering off. And I see 2025 being the year of the big, massive American Riviera orchard flop. That is what is going to happen. And I kind of put it in the same, almost the same breath as Prince Harry's Spare. Prince Harry's Spare was a commercial success because people were interested in the royal family and what Harry had to say. It didn't necessarily mean that people actually supported Prince Harry and agreed with what he had to say. In fact, it actually harpooned his credentials and made him less marketable for, well, what's he done since? What has he done since commercially? So it's made him less commercial. And it was exceedingly bad PR. So although initial success in terms of finances, it's cut off all roads. And I think this is going to be very, very similar for Meghan. I think there'll be an initial flurry, and then I think it will just slowly peter off. Meghan Markle is no Gwyneth Paltrow, and American Riviera orchard is definitely not the Goop. It's definitely not Rihanna's Fenty, and all these other kind of celebrity brands. So, and also I think it's very difficult having a brand where you're selling so many different wide things. You know, you've either got to kind of specialize in maybe a few different things. For example, you know, Kim Kardashian with the Skims. You know, you've got to kind of focus in. I think this is casting the net way too far. It's giving me Temu vibes. It's just going to be brought in cheap Chinese rubbish, and I'm not saying everything made in China is rubbish, but you know what I mean. It's cheap, it's cheaply made, mass produced, is where I'm getting at. And it's probably the same things that are being sold, you know, probably made in the same factories where things are being sold much cheaper in Walmart or any of the other kind of supermarkets or discount outlets. It's probably from the Dollar Tree. You probably get the exact same jam from the Dollar Tree. Except it's packaged as American Riviera orchard, and then she's going to be on there doing her cooking show where she's trying to emulate Martha Stewart and bore off is what I'm trying to say. So yes, designer bakeware, spreads and butters, metal decanters, plates, glassware, variety of serving bowls, cloth napkins, cookbooks, copper pans. It's word salad. It's word salad in retail form. That's exactly what it is. So anyway, I want to go and see what people are saying about this. NDEMP says it's a little strange that there is nothing on her website, yet just that uninspiring logo. and a waitlist invitation, although it's not clear what exactly you are being asked to wait for. That's very, very true. There are a couple of fake Instagram sites already set up that are cashing in on her name, which is quite amusing. Yes, I find it very weird that they launched this and then there was nothing to launch with. I think it would have been better to have had at least one product to launch with, whether it be specifically a jam or a cup or whatever it might be. I think it was definitely timed to coincide with the Diana Award, and it was designed to overshadow. And I just think, it, as everything with the Sussexes, everything is done as a nasty afterthought. Well, no, not even an afterthought. It's a nasty forethought. They do it to inflict maximum damage. It's almost like sending torpedoes over. They coordinate it and plan and strategize. But often the strategy, you'd think strategy comes from clever people, but all the strategy that they do just completely backfires. And American Riviera Orchard is going to be exactly the same way. I just want to say, if you are enjoying this video and finding it useful, then please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. Also turning on that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. It really does help so that YouTube pushes these videos out to you and other people as well. So if you really want to help the channel, subscribe, it's free, click the like button and turn on those notifications. And finally, for today, I want to talk about Prince Harry's failed bid for police protection and the ramifications of that for people here in the UK. And that is that to fight Prince Harry and defend their right to decide, the government to decide who gets royal protection or not, it has cost the UK taxpayer £500,000. So all these people saying that, Prince Harry's moved on, it's not costing the British taxpayer a penny, are completely wrong. With Harry trying to fight and score settle, trying to get police protection, trying to become an internationally protected person, has actually cost the UK taxpayer £500,000. Now, Harry's lost. I think he is appealing against this. But what I'm hoping is that eventually, when all of this is completely done and dusted, I don't think Harry will get anywhere with his appeal. I hope he is made to pay back that £500,000 because it is disgusting that, a decision was made, one that was based on the situation that was in hand, Harry stepping back, a reduced risk, that then, it should cost us even more money when that money could be going to hospitals and schools and all kinds of things. So the breakdown of it, it's 180,000 for council, 230,000 for government legal department, 2,300 in court fees, and nearly 10,000 in e-disclosure. So there we go. That is the figures. I think he should pay it back. He's already had some money that he's won from other court cases. The British taxpayer should not be out of pocket for this whatsoever. People are also saying, well, he's moved on from the UK. He's not costing us a penny. When he comes, let's make this perfectly clear. When it comes to police protection, he doesn't have it officially. He's not entitled to it, but it is given on an ad hoc random basis. So whenever Prince Harry decides to grace us with his presence and fly into the country, of which we should be eternally grateful for, say no more about that, he does actually receive the protection voluntarily. They offer it up. You see him arriving at the airport and there are a fleet of police and royal protection out there to escort him to wherever he is staying. So he is getting it. He doesn't even really he's just doing this because he wants that gravitas. He wants the internationally protected person status. So he can get it wherever he goes in the world. The facts are that when he does grace us with his presence, from up on high, he does actually get it. He's not entitled to it now, but they are putting it in place. That is costing the taxpayer money. So all these people saying, he's not costing us a penny. He is. Whenever he comes over, he's costing us money. And then he decides to cost us even more money with £500,000 of court fees and all that kind of stuff. It's not good. And again, it's not making him look very good. Let's see what people are saying about that. From user Belitzi, a lot of money, but cheaper than him winning the case because he was hoping to have his internationally protected person status returned, which would have meant that he would have security wherever he went in the world. Obviously, that didn't happen. Absolutely, that's exactly what I said. And Plain Mole Radio follows up with their statement about becoming financially independent was incorrect. Only their work as royals was covered by the taxpayer. Everything else was picked up by the Duchy of Cornwall, and once the king ascended would have been funded. Yes, it would have been funded by the monarchy, because once King Charles, if Harry would have stuck around long enough, once his father became sovereign, everything would have been fully funded from directly under King Charles. It wouldn't have had any association with the Duchy of Cornwall whatsoever. So again, Harry sort of jumped the gun. People in the comment section they know what the truth is. Harry wants to be an internationally protected person. Meghan wants Harry to be an internationally protected person so that she can also tag along on his coattails. Yes, we see you. We see you, American Riviera Borchard. Right, I'm off. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So from me, mwah, to you all, and goodbye.